Hello, I'm Kristen from Kristen Kane Style. I'm glad you're here. I am a style and mindset coach, and I help women who are tired of trying to figure out the style stuff by themselves create wardrobes they absolutely love wearing. I do work one-on-one with clients, both online and in person, and I also do YouTube videos, and I am on Instagram sharing all things style, tips and strategies, and information that I hope will help you build a wardrobe you love on your own. But if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, that information is always down below in the description box. So today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics, specifically because I find it empowering, sort of like boundaries for style. It is non-negotiables. So years ago when I was teaching clinics, this sort of topic came up, this idea came up, and I really decided to dive into it a little deeper because I could see how important it was, and I hadn't really described it. I didn't really have the language for it. I knew I had started to do it in my own wardrobe, but I wasn't really clear on how to teach and help my clients do it for themselves. And so the idea of non-negotiables within the wardrobe was born for me, and now I want to share it with you. So the idea of a non-negotiable is, what are you tired of tolerating in your wardrobe? What things are you not willing to put up with any longer? That's really where you can begin to identify your non-negotiables. Some of them are already firmly established, and you have really clear boundaries around those pieces, probably even without knowing it. If this idea of non-negotiables in your wardrobe is new to you, what I want is for you to really get clear on what your non-negotiables are, because in doing so, you truly, with very little other effort, start to create a wardrobe that you really love wearing, because you have these non-negotiables in place that prevent you from bringing more of that into your wardrobe. And so the non-negotiables are things you will not tolerate any longer in clothing, in accessories, in shoes, in anything that you wear, anything that's in your wardrobe. It could be hangers, whatever it is, they're the non-negotiables. And so you want to be ruthless when you think about this. You want to really get clear on, what am I tired of tolerating? Because as far as I'm concerned, every single piece in your wardrobe you should love. There is not any reason at all why your entire closet shouldn't be filled with pieces that light you up. In my opinion, that is the goal of a wardrobe. That is the goal when we're creating a wardrobe we love wearing, is to make every single piece our favorite piece. That doesn't mean you might not have some that are really, truly your favorite for some reason, but there is nothing that is, there's nothing that makes you think, oh, I wish that wasn't even in here, but it's the best I've got. And so the non-negotiable process, that practice helps you to prevent those pieces from making their way in, and it helps you get rid of the pieces that don't belong there because they no longer, fit your criteria. So, okay, I realize I'm getting out on a bit of a limb here with non-negotiables. Let me back up and explain to you what some of mine are, to give you a clearer picture of what a non-negotiable is, so that you can begin to create yours. So non-negotiables for me are anything that itches. I will not wear clothing that itches. There was a time in my life when I wore wool. I don't think I wore it because it didn't itch then. I think I wore it because I was willing to tolerate it. And I have gotten to a place in my life where I'm no longer willing to tolerate clothing that itches. So wool is usually completely off the list. At this point, I don't even try wool on, really. I can take a piece of clothing and put it up against my neck, and if it has wool in it, I can immediately tell whether it's going to itch or not, and it is 99.9% of a chance that I will not even consider trying it on, because I can already tell it's going to be picky for me. But it's not just wool. It can be something that has some metallic thread in it, or something that's sequined that might not feel like it's going to itch at all, but once it's against my skin, there's something about that metallicness that is a little bit scratchy or picky. I won't do it. There are plenty of people that is not a non-negotiable for them. They are completely willing to wear things that itch. They don't even really notice that they itch, and that is fine. It's not for me. So wool is a non-negotiable for me, or anything that itches, which usually includes all wool. Yellow and brown, as far as clothing goes, are non-negotiables. I used to have a pair, actually, that I loved a lot, of yellow corduroy pants. They were from the Gap a billion years ago. I actually would still wear them today if I still had them. So I will wear yellow, I just won't wear it usually on my face because it just is not a good color for me. Brown, could be a good color for me, I guess, sometimes, but it doesn't make me happy. So I don't wear brown except in shoes and belts and handbags. So I don't have to look at yellow or brown or wool when I shop. And when I edit out my closet, when I initially started to do this, I knew that I could remove anything that was, in those non-negotiable categories, because it no longer was something I was willing to tolerate. I don't wear uncomfortable shoes. So if I go into a store and try on a pair of shoes and there's a sense that they need to be broken in, they don't come home with me, because it's a non-negotiable for me at this point that my shoes are comfortable from the minute I buy them. There are plenty of options out there. And so I'm not willing to settle for shoes that aren't comfortable. And so you I hope, get an idea of what a non-negotiable is. So your non-negotiables could be ruffles, they could be stripes, they could be, bright colors, they could be crop top, it could be long tunics, it could be anything. It really is unlimited, and that's the beauty of non-negotiables. They are completely authentic to you. And so you decide, what are you not willing to tolerate in your wardrobe and in your clothes any longer? And then take a peek in your closet and see if there are any pieces, scan through and see, if you no longer want to wear things that are uncomfortable or things that are itchy. Is there anything in there that itches? Is there anything in there that every time you put it on, it's just too snug or too baggy or falls down, or, something about it is uncomfortable? That's where you start. You edit those pieces out, and then you're left with the pieces that are actually in your wheelhouse. You've removed the things that you are no longer willing to tolerate, so that you're left with pieces that you're willing to put on. And from there, when you shop, you can eliminate the non-negotiables. Again, I don't buy shoes that are uncomfortable. I don't try on yellow. I don't try on brown. I don't try on anything that has wool that seems like it's going to itch. So it frees up a whole lot of mental and physical energy and time and money, when I'm shopping, because I can eliminate whole categories. I know that I don't want to wear anything too short. I have a long torso. So I, at this point, can pretty much eyeball whether something is going to be long enough for my body. And so it eliminates whole categories. If it's a season when all the tops in the spring are really short, I pretty much don't have to buy, I don't even have to look at that kind of, current trend, because I know it's not going to work on my body. So I feel like if you can come up with what your non-negotiables are, if you can get really clear on them, and then if you can create really specific set boundaries around, I will no longer tolerate this, I'll get whatever is already in my closet out, that falls within these non-negotiables. And from now on, when I shop, I will make sure that I'm not bringing any more of that into my wardrobe. It's just super liberating. And it makes the shopping and the editing and the getting dressed so much easier, because you don't have to think about it. You don't have to, it could be, floral patterns that have a black background. You just don't like those. Don't try them on. Don't even look at them. If you already have a few, but you've decided you no longer want to tolerate them, get them out. Same with stripes, same with plaid, same with anything. It really is entirely up to you what your non-negotiables are. But if you can determine what you're not willing to put up with in your wardrobe anymore, and then get rid of those things that you might already own that have snuck in over the years, and no longer shop for them, no longer even entertain the idea, it will just clean up the idea of, how to create a wardrobe that you love wearing, because you will have removed those categories that don't support the woman you want to be. So I hope that is helpful. One more thing I will mention with regards to the non-negotiables is there's a little bit of a flip side, or kind of, this is the negative, we're not going to do these. There is the other side, which is the hell yes side, if you will. It's the absolutely always, I'm going to look at those or try those on or consider buying those. So for me, one of those items is cream sweaters, whether they are cardigans or pullovers. I currently am having a love affair with cream sweaters. And so that doesn't mean I buy every single one I see. It doesn't mean I buy every single one I love, because I know how much I really need in my wardrobe. And I'm probably almost at capacity with cream sweaters. But I will always look at them, because I wear them enough that they will continue to wear out and need to be replaced. And so find those hell yeses also. That could be brown boots, it could be great sneakers, it could be cashmere scarves, whatever those hell yeses are for you. Pay attention to those also, so that when you shop, you know what you're looking for with regards to that one category of thing that is kind of your signature, or something that you always gravitate towards. keep those hell yeses in mind. So you've got the non-negotiables that you're not willing to try on, not willing to tolerate or bring into your wardrobe. But then you have that category of things or those few pieces where you're always on the lookout for them. You know, maybe you love interesting belts, and so you're always on the lookout for a new belt. That's totally fine. And it gives you something to kind of search for, which makes, you know, shopping and collecting cool pieces for your wardrobe kind of fun. So I hope that is helpful. If you have any questions about non-negotiables, please just drop them in the comments below and I will answer them. I try to be pretty quick with answering comments. Over the holidays, I was not so great, but I try to be pretty quick with answering comments. So be patient with me if if it takes me a couple of days. But if you've got some comments on non-negotiables and what yours are, I would love to know, because I find it kind of fascinating that everybody has different things that they won't tolerate. Some people won't tolerate linen because they don't want to iron it and they don't like how it looks wrinkly. That doesn't happen to be a problem for me. I actually love wrinkled linen. I like linen when it's kind of rumply and looks a little bit lived in. And so it's just interesting to hear what everyone's version of a non-negotiable is and what the versions of the hell yeses. So if you've got something that you always are on the lookout for, I'd love to know that too. Drop it down in the comments below so we can all see. Let's see, I'm on Instagram every Tuesday at noon Mountain Time. I do a live Q&A. So if you have a question, style question, ask me anything, you can drop it in the comment box below and I will get to it next Tuesday. And I also post on my Instagram, which is at Kristen Kane Style. I post a question box so that you can drop in your question. I post that on Mondays, so you can drop it in, and then I try to get to all the questions that next Tuesday, the day after. If I have too many questions, sometimes the questions fall into similar categories, so I can kind of lump them together. But if I have too many questions, it'll just get bumped to the next week. So again, be patient with me, please. And if you'd like to work together one-on-one, I absolutely love helping women, both virtually and in person, create wardrobes they love wearing. So I will drop the info in the description box below. I do something called style therapy. It's a lot of fun. We can get it done pretty quickly. It's about a day in the big picture. It takes about a day. There's some journaling and some questions to answer, so that we can start out on the same page, and then we kind of bang it out so that you can pretty much go to bed with a smile and wake up the next morning and be ready to get dressed and love how you look and feel in your clothes. Thank you so much. I will be back next Friday. Have a great day.